Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Nako, it's been a while since we had an episode about the International Student Program. O yan ang ating topic ngayon. Alam nyo ba na nung in-announce yung bagong immigration levels plan several days ago, merong isang portion nung immigration plan kung saan may pagbabago in a way sa mga international students na nagbabalak mag-apply for master's and doctorate's degree. Okay, would you believe it? Sabi nila, no, if you apply for a master's or PhD, yan ang aaralin mo dito, your permit can be approved in 2 weeks. Okay. Anyway, yan at iba pa, okay, ang pag-uusapan natin. Pati ang estado ng International Student Program ngayon, kasama ang nagbabalik. It's been a while, Kuya Nick, ang tagal mong nawala.
Hello,
Welcome, Nick
everyone.
San ng Suncor. Hi, Kuya Nick.
Hello, Ina. Kumusta? No, hello po sa lahat ating mga viewers. Yes po, I'm back here in Canada. No, hindi
Oo,
ko
baka na-miss ka rin ng ilan nating mga, regulars o yung matagal na nanonood sa atin. Nagpilipinas kasi si Kuya Nick ng ilang buwan. Ano ba ginawa mo doon, Kuya Nick?
Yeah. So, kami sa Suncor, we usually go home every year to educate ang mga kababayan natin. So, lumibot po kami, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, even Singapore, no, binisita natin
Oh,
sila.
wow.
Not to market, no, just to educate them. Kasi by end of the day, ang decision nasa kanila yan eh. No, we want
Iyan,
to educate them what's the reality in Canada, ano yung mga latest. Tulad nito, no, ang daming
Yan.
changes. So, as an education consultant po here in Canada, this is my job to educate everyone, especially sa education side naman.
Yan. Okay, sige. Ayun guys, education consultant si Kuya Nick. So he's very able to discuss itong changes sa International Student Program. Pero una sa lahat, Kuya Nick, kamusta na, no? Primarily, ikaw ang kausap mo, mga international students. Nakakita ko ng reports na sobrang laki na talaga ng ibinaba ng mga new enrollees. Basically, nag-wane down significantly yung interest sa pagpunta sa Canada as an international student. Anong mga observations mo dyan?
Yes. So, tama yan, Ina. So, I'm just not talking sa mga applicants. I'm also in connection with institutions, yung mga colleges, universities. Talagang bumaba po talaga yung mga aplikante nila, no, for international studies because of the changes. So tulad ng ginagawa namin is just to re-educate them. Canada is still open. No, they need to be educated na kung ano ba yung kailangan ni Canada, what are the changes. Kasi with the social media right now, ang daming negative, no.
Yeah.
Mahirap na sa Canada, bawal na international student. Hindi po totoo yun, no. We always base our answer sa official website, which is yung canada.ca. So,
Yeah.
so yun, the numbers are so low. Some of the colleges or even universities nagsasara ng campus, no? Nagko-close ng mga programs because it's not because na hindi na pwede, because konti lang talaga yung applicant. Hindi kayang i-survive yung isang course kung 2-3 lang estudyante mo.
Oo.
Mga sinasuffer ng mga colleges and universities. And not only that, ang daming nalilay-off din, Ina.
Yeah.
Yes, which is sad to see those people na dahil sa epekto nito na changes na ginawa ni Canada, marami ding nawalan ng work.
Oo. Okay, eto na, Kuya Nick, no, sa topic natin. Nung nilabas yung immigration levels plan, ang pagbaba ng quota, una sa lahat, for the new international students na tatanggapin sa 2026, binabaan nila ng 50% compared doon sa 2025. Okay, nangalahati. So, ang impression is, yun na nga talagang gusto na bawasan ng gusto ng Canada ang mga international student, lalo na dahil dati, no, binibenta yan nasa PR pathway, hindi na dapat gano'n, mga ganyan-ganyan. So, that is the impression ayaw na sa international student, or rather, nagbabawas. Pero, itong report na ito, let me show you, I sent this to you. Ito naman, parang nang-iengganyo to me, no, sa pagbasa ko. Bakit, guys, no? This is official site to from canada.ca. Okay. If you go to puntahan muna natin. If you go doon sa, study in Canada as an international student, everything about coming here as an international student you will find here. Pag ibaba mo yan ng konti, may nakasulat dito, new. O yan.
Mhm.
Study in Canada as a graduate student. Pag kinlik mo yan, parang may policy changes for those who might want to come as an international student and study a master's degree or a PhD. Ano tong changes na to, Kuya Nick?
So yun, this is really new. I think a few days ago, in-announce nila after announcing the budget and then the new
Oo.
numbers, no? Tulad ng sabi ni Ina, yung 50% was cut, no? Sa target na sa 2026, 2027, 2028. No, started this 2025. Alam mo na natin nag-strict na si Canada, no? First lang, pahapyawan lang natin. Once again, hindi po ako immigration consultant. I am an education consultant. Pahapyawan natin na yung rules nung starting January 2025, first is meron ng attestation, provincial attestation letter required if you want to study. So applicable po yan sa lahat, mapa diploma, certificate, master's, tsaka PhD.
Okay.
No?
Ano yung PAL na yan? Para lang maalam nila kung ano yun.
So yung provincial attestation letter, ito na yung cap. No? So every province meron ng allocation na binibigay for international student. So yung provincial naman, yung province, siya po ang mag-allocate kung sino po bibigyan niya ng mga slot. No? So controlled na po talaga. Yun. So aside from that changes, this 2025 po, financial side naman, nag-increase yung proof of funds required. No? So from 10,000 to 20,000, ngayon nasa 20 to almost 23,000 Canadian yung settlement fund required. Sa din yan, sa changes. Third, yung changes naman is about the spouse of the student. No, if you want to study, bring your family with here in Canada, kailangan niyo po mag-master's program, at least 2 years or 16 months duration para madala mo yung asawa niyo or pamilya niyo, no? And then or master or certain bachelor's degree na para madala mo yung family mo. But still, nakikita niyo po ang changes. Kumbaga, nag-strict talaga si Canada.
Oo.
Na-filtered niya. So people who are financially ready, people are quality people that comes here, hindi na, tsaka ang pinakamalaki, Ina, yung changes na ginawa nila, marami silang program na tinanggalan ng post-grad work permit eligibility.
Yeah, oo.
So hindi na po, tinanggal na po nila yung first, yung hospitality programs, yung business programs.
Yan,
Ibig sabihin, pag nag-aral ka sa mga certain programs na to, wala ka ng PGWP. Ito yung tinatawag na field of studies.
Hindi ka na makakapagtrabaho after.
Yes. Nag-focus sila sa transportation, sa STEM, sa education, healthcare, at saka agriculture na programs.
Yeah.
So yun na lang yung ano nila. Which is, yun din yung category base ngayon sa Express Entry nakabase sila. So ibig sabihin, in-identify ni Canada kung anong kailangan nilang tao. Yeah. So actually the changes started from the start of the year already. Lang sila nagtaka, dami nagtaka. Akala ko ba nagbabawas? Kasi pinakita ni Ms. Ina, nagbabawas ng 150, nag-cap sila ng 150,000 for 2026, 2027, 2028 for international student. Pero meron silang nilagay doon, but if you are gonna be taking a master's program, a master's program or a doctorate program na under sa public university at those public universities or institution, hindi ka kasama sa cap.
Oo, parang unlimited ito on top of the quota na supposedly kinalahati, no, na 155,000.
Yeah. So ito yung mapapaisip ako if I wanted to go to Canada, tapos nidagdagan pa natin 2 weeks lang yung processing time.
Yeah, ito yan guys, so faster processing. Get your application processed in 2 weeks if you're a doctoral student.
Yes, kasi nga ang gusto ng Canada, quality people or quality immigrants gonna come to Canada kasi alam naman natin this is a country of immigrants, no? And most of people coming here as a student, they really wanted to become a permanent resident or a citizen here in Canada. And na-foresee nila yan na if you want to come here, and why we want quality people to join us here in Canada.
Oo.
And very surprisingly, nagulat din kami. Akala namin, uy, 155,000, ang konti lang nun. Pero yun nga, with the new announcement po, this will be a game changer for everyone as an international student. Kasi nga po, most of our Filipino kababayans are already, are bachelor's degree holder or or master's degree or PhD, or they can still do this study option here in Canada.
Yan, oo nga. So basahin natin yung new details about this, okay? Nasabi na natin yung 2 weeks processing time lang daw. You can apply with your family, yan, if you want to. Ibig sabihin, 2 weeks lang din pati yung permit siguro ng family, matatapos yun, di ba? If kasama na sila sa application mo.
Yes.
Tapos, ito na yung sabi ni Kuya Nick kanina, starting January 2026, kahit ilan, wala tong cap, okay, na mag-a-apply nito sa kahit saang probinsya ba, Kuya Nick? Basta designated yung yung learning institution, yung college, university.
Yes, basta nakalagay doon public university, no, that you want.
Ayan, okay. So, only ang tatanggapin. Tapos, ayun, you can stay and work in Canada. Ayan. Parang misleading in a way, no, Kuya Nick? Yung nangyayari ngayon. Kasi as it is, because of all the policy changes in the international student program, I think, napupunta naman na talaga sa masters and doctorates yung mga willing pa din makipagsapalaran sa international student program. Ito na yung sitwasyon eh. And now, mas pinadali pa nila and parang nang-iengganyo pa sila ng more, which again, the number they are allocating for this is unlimited, goes beyond yung sinasabi nilang, binawasan na namin yan. Parang may misleading, ano?
Yes. Actually, Ina, this is to address din, na-notice din kasi namin as an education consultant, as a owner of an agency, talagang konti na ang pumupunta sa mga public universities.
Okay.
First kasi, for us, first medyo mahirap pumasok din kasi sa public universities kasi less lang yung seats, no?
Okay.
And then may mga certain requirements sa IELTS, so sa English language, dahil tapos may proseso siya, hindi siya tulad sa mga private universities na madali lang makapasok.
All right.
And sa tuition fee din, syempre mas mahal siya versus sa mga ibang institution. So napansin nila na syempre yung public universities are funded by the government. Diba? It goes back din na kung walang estudyante and mag-ooperate pa rin sila, syempre where would they get the money to fund, continue funding? It should be the government. So I think first, yun nga, tulad ng explain ko kanina, ang Canada from the start nag-strict na sila gradually, but this one, they filtered people na these are the people we want to come to Canada, the quality one, the masters, and then the PhD ones na that can help us lead Canada, no, in the future. So
In that sense, Kuya Nick, okay, alam mo, believe it or not, nakakakuha pa rin ako ng mga messages, okay, from people who are still interested. Not so many, pero kahit na ang daming paghihigpit sa international student program, game pa din sila, okay? And in a sense, I think it's because of all the policy changes, tulad ng sinabi mo, klaro na kung ano dapat ang kalidad ng mga international student na dumarating. It works in favor doon sa mga interesado pa rin kasi alam nila talaga, hindi na to biro ngayon, hindi na to basta-basta, ito na dapat ang i-take ko kung gusto ko magkaroon ng brighter future at makakontribute more sa ekonomiya later on.
Yes. At saka, Ina, nakita mo naman yung pangangailangan ng Canada right now, no? Pangangailangan sa mga field, lalo na sa mga, aside dun sa trades, no? Which is kailangan talaga natin ng mga professional individuals like with masters and PhD. And with the exception right now, na sabi mo, 2 weeks na lang yung processing time, meron ako as an applicant, meron na akong na mas mabilis pala mag-process kung magtitik ako ng masters. Plus, wala ng attestation letter required. At the same time, madadala ko family ko. So this is the game changer from the strict na ginawa nila for the longest time. Tapos biglang, may chance na ako ulit. So sabi mo nga, marami pa rin marami nang gustong mag-aral ulit sa Canada because of these changes.
Okay. You said no, yung public university dapat ito, guys. Can you give us an idea at attorney tuloy? Kuya Nick.
Hindi pa.
Kuya Nick, sabi mo mas mahirap makapasok talaga sa public universities. Can you explain why? Ano ba usually ang hinahanap nito? Ano ba 'to, may exam ka, qualifications mo, titignan talaga nila, paano ba?
Yes. So, for example lang, I am an applicant for a certain university, sa public university here in Ontario. So, kasi nandito ako sa Ontario. First, most of the university, syempre gagawa ka ng letter of intent. Parang gagawa ka ng letter, magsasubmit ka, i-check din nila yung grades mo, magkakaroon din ng reference check. Why do you want to take a master's or PhD? So, talagang gagawa ka ng reference, magbibigay ka ng reference people there. At the same time, some university, they even go for an interview.
Yeah, okay.
Kasi nga, they wanna make sure na you're qualified, before you even come, i-accept ka nila. And kumbaga generic is yung English exam. They require an academic English exam. But not all, but may mga exception dahil nga, for example, sa Philippines, may exception, but most of the universities, they really required. Mataas kasing standard ng mga public universities.
Yan, okay. Gone are the days, no? Ito yung nirereklamo kasi noon, alam nyo naman, yung biglang mga nagsulputan na kung ano-anong mga maliliit na colleges. Nakipag-partner pa sila sa mga talagang established to make them siguro look a bit more, mas kapanipaniwala, mag-boost kuno ang kanilang credibility. Mga ganyan. Hindi na sila counted dyan. Hindi sila pasok dito. Sa bagong
advice ko sa mga gustong mag-apply ng mga universities, first, do it yourself. Do your part. Do your due diligence to really research about, pag sinabi natin University A, you need to really check saan ba to, ano ba itsura niya. Tulad sabi ni Ina na baka naman university to pero parang galing dating Costco yung building, ginawa lang. So you need to do your research then. First, you need to identify if it's a public or a private. I'm not saying na private universities are not good, but it works differently kasi may PAL pa rin siya requirement, may cap sila. So these are the disadvantage na nire-require ng Canada if you go to a private universities. But for a public university, ito na po, nakafocus tayo na masyado nang maluwag. Like I said, wala namang problema. And eto, Miss Ina, meron pong bayad pag mag-apply ng acceptance letter.
Pag dito, sa mga graduate programs.
Yes. Isa din to, kahit hindi ka ma-approve or ma-deny, some hindi ma-refund.
Alright. That's good. Mga magkano yan, Kuya Nick?
We're talking about siguro $100 to as high as $250.
Okay.
To apply for the school.
I see. Posibleng hindi daw ma-refund. Alam nyo na yan. Okay. Ngayon, Kuya Nick, I noticed, i-up ko ulit tong site.
Sige.
Teka. Yan. Okay. Napansin ko, bago to, diba? Even if dun sa, ibalik natin dito sa main page, yung study as an international student. Dati, I distinctly remember that when I go to an online official resource about the international student program in Canada, merong part dyan na, okay, and then, become a PR. PR pathways, parang nilinis na nila. Hindi na masyado naka-mention dito, at lalo na dito sa, tinan mo doon sa pinag-uusapan natin for masters and PhDs. Parang iniiwasan na nila yung ganong criticisms na nakita noon. So can you clarify that for us? I don't see it anymore. Tinan mo, start studying, life as a graduate. Tas nakasulat dito, stay and work in Canada with a work permit. Diba, hindi na nila binebenta as a PR pathway. Can you clarify that for us? Meron pa rin ba? Dapat ba umasa na magiging PR ka? Yung ganun ba?
Yeah, Ina, from the start, Canada naman does not guarantee you to become a permanent resident pag nag-international student ka.
Mm.
Tama ang observation mo, Ina, na dito hindi na naka-indicate na study, work, and live as a permanent resident here.
Yeah, dati and live. Ganon. Tama, tama.
Diba? So, eto lang, ini-emphasize lang ng immigration na study visa does not, guaranteed permanent residency. It will open up options, but it all depends on you. No, but does not say na 100% mapi-PR kayo after you finish your program or after you did your certain work time here in Canada. No, which is yun ang gustong ipa-emphasize ni Canada na sana din lahat ng mga nagbebenta ng Canada, wag nating i-promise na pag nag-student kayo, mapi-PR kayo. Kasi nga po, false po information po. It's a misleading information.
Correct. Oo. And but for those curious, Kuya Nick, sasabihin nila, sige Kuya Nick, I will go through it, no? Sana matanggap sila. Halimbawa, sa university na qualified, dala nila yung pamilya na, PhD ang aaralin. Just to be clear about it, if any, if they want to pursue staying here for the longer term, meron pa din. Hindi naman sasarado, right?
Yeah, but like I said, there will be a lot of permanent residency pathway that will open up. For example, ang ina is yung Canadian experience class under express entry. After you finish your program, maka-gain ka ng 1 year na skill job through the PGWP, the postgrad work permit, then you can be eligible for the, when we see skill job under, there's certain skills lang po, hindi po lahat, under tier 0, 1, 2, 3. And then, like I said, maraming pathway mag-open. Kung i-compare mo kasi, Ina, na, for example, ako applicant, nasa Pilipinas lang ako, I don't have a Canadian education, Canadian experience, versus yung mga nandito sa Canada na nagkaroon ng education tsaka experience, that will boost my points compared dun sa aplikante na walang education experience. Ang Canada still is a point system. Bigyan ko lang kayo ng idea, how the point system or the comprehensive ranking system, they will, I think there are 4 factors na tinitingnan nila para sa points. First is yung age, which is hindi naman natin kaya i-control yung age. Wala pataas lahat. At the age of 45, 0 na yung points. Second will be the education, which is kaya natin i-control yung education kasi pwede tayong kumuha ng master's, ng PhD, which is more points then.
Okay.
Experience. We can do experience here. We have 3 years postgrad work permit. We can have an experience na related dun sa natapos natin or not related sa natapos natin. Basta skilled po siya.
Yeah.
And fourthly, which is yung number 4 is the language. Hindi nating mataasan yung language natin, or we can even apply for the French then to get more points. So these are the 4 factors. Once again, age, education, experience, at saka language. Sa 4 na factors for you to check your comprehensive ranking system, yung tinatawag na point system ng Canada, isa lang yung hindi natin kaya control, yung age lang. The rest, kaya natin i-control, which is that will help us boost or open up more options for PR. But like I said, does not guarantee, depende po sa profile. Hindi po totoo yung sa province na to mabilis na PR or sa program na to mabilis na PR. It's not true. It's always in your profile. Depende kung anong in-applyan mo. Baka naman yung in-applyan mo, pero hindi mo alam, eligible ka pa pala sa iba. Kaya you need to do your own research or better talk with a licensed immigration consultant or immigration lawyer to really discuss what are your options. Kasi sometimes, Ina, we're very equipped. We have all the guns, so we don't know where to shoot at.
Yeah.
Diba? Pero,
isang malaking factor for Filipino applicants, Kuya Nick, I think, is yung ability to bring their families.
Yes.
Okay. For this topic natin, nakasulat dito, you can apply with your family. Please remind me, nakalimut na, I might be mali, baka mali kasi yung masabi ko. Kapag ikaw ba ay nag-apply ng master's and PhD, I mean, yan ang iyong aaralin dito, natapos mo, your family would be here while you are studying, Yung makaka-PG, automatic ba ang PGWP for these types of graduates? And then, yung family ba nila, automatic mabibit-bit din nila while you're on PGWP?
Ina, so wala pang further announcement for the changes. So the
Okay.
old rules apply, no? So if you want to apply for the PGWP after you finish your program, if you're under a master's or a PhD, you need to get a certain CLB, like CLB 7
Sa English to.
English exam. Yes.
Okay.
Then you don't need a job to apply for PGWP. You
Wala.
only need a job to extend your spouse or open work permit partner. So a certain skill job to extend them for the duration of the PGWP time. Pero meron ako nakikitang gray area din dito, Ina, is meron kasing rule dito na if master's program yung kukunin mo, tapos 1 year lang yon, hindi mo pwedeng dalhin yung pamilya mo.
Okay. Reminder. Yun, alamin nyo yan.
So, nakalagay kasi dito, sa rule pa rin is, master's yung program mo at least 16 months and above. So, di ko nakikita dun sa new announcement kasi na may nakalagay kasi you can bring your family, no? So, this is the gray area na since wala pang new
details,
guidelines about it. So, the old rule applies.
Okay. Guys, we are recording this November 11, 2025. As of recording, wala pa po kasing pagbabago. Kaya yung sinasabi ni Kuya Nick, for now, what we have is yung old rules pa rin ang susundin. Unless magkaroon ng bago, then that will change.
Yes.
Okay. Nahintayin natin. Who knows, no? Kasi kaka-announce lang nga nito. Yan na, November 11, 2025. Kung may update later, alam nyo na yan. Basahin nyo na lang.
Yes.
Sarili ninyo. I see. So guys, again, may restrictions once you graduate pa rin sa kung sino ang makakadala ng family. Do your own research. Okay. Last na lang siguro, Kuya Nick. Do you think marami mga Pilipino mag-eengganyo muli dahil dito sa bagong to?
Dalawa yung masasabi ko. First, of course, syempre, people from the Philippines want quality life, and Canada can offer that. And second, what's going on in the Philippines right now, calamities, politics, and yung paghihirap din, people wants to move out and they don't want to experience that. Sad to say lang na Pilipino tayo, a lot of people are moving out. Hindi lang sa Canada, wanted to go abroad, no?
Yeah.
This announcement will really trigger the numbers, no, for Filipino that will reconsider Canada right now.
Yeah, oo nga. I think so too, no, in a way. Lalo na yung point number 2 mo, dahil sa mga nangyayari back home, the sad things that are happening there. Parang ang daming gusto talaga mga ibang bansa. Hindi lang mag-Canada, mga ibang bansa.
Yes.
That is the reality. Anyway, thank you so much, Kuya Nick. By the way, guys, yung email po, ayan, ng Suncor. Of course, 1/2 lang si Kuya Nick ng Suncor. Si Kuya Mick Corrales, na may miss na rin natin dito. Busy din yata. Ayan, yan po ang kanilang email if you wanna get in touch with them. Yung nandyan sa baba. Yes. Kuya Nick, thank you so much!
Maraming salamat din, Ina. Alam mo naman, for you, I will have an availability talaga. Kasi this is one way for us to educate our kababayan. No? We're not selling Suncor here. We wanted to educate. And please do follow Miss Ina sa Ina na Nutshell. No? A lot of people needs this platform to re-educate what's really going on.
Correct. Nako, alam mo, na-imagine ko na yung comment section. For some reason, marami talagang galit. Okay, ito ang totoo, Kuya Nick. Marami, kahit mga kababayan natin, galit sila sa mga international students in general, no? Guys, wala eh. This is a government policy. We are just explaining what opportunities there are, available for those who are interested. Ganun talaga no? May ganitong programa.
Tayo po yung dayo, tayo po yung bisita, tayo mag-adjust.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's it. I'll end this episode here. Thanks again, Kuya Nick. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Everyone.
Bye!